Hey, Wonderhussy here, out in the middle of nowhere in Utah. That's right. It's June 2nd, I think, and there's all these crazy riots going on in Vegas because of the police brutality. That video that was released, that guy was just terrible. So understandably, people are going nuts, and whatever you think about their tactics, well, being in Vegas just didn't seem like the place I wanted to be right now. And I was at home in Vegas because I left my quarantine headquarters in Tecopa. My plan was I was going to stay in Vegas for a couple weeks and then leave and go visit my mom. So I should be at my house right now, but I happen to live in downtown Vegas, and I didn't expect Vegas to really protest much because, well, to be honest, I kind of feel like people in Vegas are sort of politically lazy and unmotivated. But I was wrong, man. There's some gnarly protests going down in Vegas. Just terrible. I think a police officer was shot in the head, and I think 2 protesters were killed. Really not a situation that I want to be a part of. So, just like I did last time when stuff hit the fan with the virus outbreak, well, I went out to my desert getaway in Tecopa, to the compound of Barry, the Australian Beast. But unfortunately, it's really hot in Tecopa right now. That's why I left. I mean, it's right outside Death friggin' Valley, okay? It was like 159 degrees and the flies were out. It just wasn't a very pleasant environment to be in. So I proposed to Barry that we go camping. And, well, Barry's an outdoorsman. He was up to it. So we loaded up Barry's big blue Dodge Ram Cummins diesel truck and headed out, well, into the middle of nowhere in Utah, where there's no protests, no riots, and, well, not much, but a beautiful evening. And wait till you see this place we're camping. It's going to blow your mind. I'm walking over to our campsite right now, but I'm not going to turn the camera on until I get there. And you're really going to like this place. I found it randomly, too. So when Barry and we just recently drove to New York City. You might have seen that video. Well, on our way back from New York City, we happened to drive through this part of Utah that we thought was exceptionally beautiful. And we thought, oh, we got to come back here sometime. So that's just what we did. Now, we didn't really have a campsite in mind, so I went on my favorite website, freecampsites.net, which is a really cool user-generated database of places you can camp for free all around the West, mostly, but all over the country. And I found this website, or this one campsite that had really good reviews. Everybody who stayed there said it was like the most beautiful place they ever camped. So I go, hey, let's go check this out. And boy howdy, am I glad we did, because, well, it's time for the big reveal. I hope you're ready to see this campsite. It's friggin' amazing. Okay, nice, relatively flat, sandy, rocky terrain. Plenty of flat spaces to pitch a tent, but we got the truck. We're gonna just sleep in the back of the truck bed. And we found there's a bunch of sites right here with little rock fire rings right on the edge of this friggin' amazing canyon. Look at this friggin' campsite. Whoa, yikers. Look at that. Have you ever seen a cooler campsite than this? This is like, I think they call it the Little Grand Canyon, because it actually does. It looks like you're on the Grand Canyon, but let me tell you something. They don't let you pull right up to the edge of the Grand Canyon and cook dinner on your tailgate. Barry's cooking dinner. He's an excellent chef, and I'll show you what he's making in a minute, but first I just wanted to show you. I wasn't kidding when I said we are camped right on the edge of this friggin' cliff. Look. I mean, it's not totally sheer going down, but it's pretty steep. I certainly wouldn't want to fall down it. And then look how beautiful this canyon is. That's I guess the San Juan River runs through it. I think you can maybe see a little bit of green down there. We're going to try to drive down there tomorrow and explore it. This is one of the coolest places I've ever camped. There's campsites all along the rim here. In fact, you might be able to see there's one rig down there. We've seen a few other rigs pull through, but it's pretty quiet because it's a Tuesday, midweek kind of, with all this other stuff going on. There aren't too many people out here. And incidentally, I hope you're not afraid of heights, because I'm standing on a little outcropping that, well, the place I'm standing actually looks like it might cleave loose at any time. So maybe I should come onto firmer land and let's see what's cooking. Barry brought his little butane camp stoves out. He's got 2 of them set up. This kind of windy, so we had to put this windbreak up, and it's not really cooperating, but he's got a really delicious meal planned, all kind of veggies. He's got veggies steaming in there right now, got some onions sauteing, and we're about to make some delicious Beyond Burgers. Mmm. Oh, what are these?
Organic tomato.
What is it?
Organic tomato.
A tomato? Smells delicious. Okay, while he's cooking, I'll get out of his way. I'm gonna walk over here and just show you. There's little campsites all along this rim. So it's free place to camp. There was I think there's a vault toilet back, kind of, well, I guess let me describe to you how you get here. You drive across a really flat plain, and it's a good 20 miles of really well-graded kind of gravel road. Really uneasy road. Any rig could have made it. I guess maybe that's dependent on weather conditions. If it had rained a lot, it might have been rutted out, but I don't know, man. It was a really nice, flat, wide road. And then you drive all the way across this plain up to basically to the edge of this canyon. And the overlook that we're at kind of has like a loop with a bunch of these free campsites. And so there is a vault toilet at the beginning of the loop. It's kind of a ways away, but it'd be good, you know, for number 2 for peeing while I just go in the bushes. And speaking of the bushes, there's a lot of, I guess these are like pinyon pines or some kind of little scrubby junipers. So not a lot of shade. I can imagine that it would get pretty hot here in the summer. In fact, we got here at like 3:30 in the afternoon, and it was kind of hot, but overall it's been very pleasant. Kind of windy, which is a bummer, because I'd love to get some drone footage. I brought my drone, and I haven't used it very much, so I just feel... Well, I feel like flying my drone around here probably wouldn't be a very good idea, considering I don't know how to use it very well. You know, I can just see it going missing forever in the little Grand Canyon. But yeah, like I was saying, there's a little campfire ring down there. And then there's a little campfire ring here. And then there's one by our campsite. And just all the way along this ridge, I think there's, oh gosh, there's many campsites. I don't know how many, but plenty. And the best thing of all about this campsite, well, this isn't the best thing, but it's a really good thing, is I actually have some 4G cell signal with Verizon, so I'm able to go online. In fact, Barry and I are going to watch a movie later. He was telling me about this UFO abduction story called Fire in the Sky, the Travis Walton story, about these, well, it was these I don't know if they were Forest Service lumberjacks down in Arizona, near Snowflake, Arizona, back in 1975. They were all cutting down trees, doing some work, and this UFO basically abducted one of them. And, well, at first the cops thought the other guys murdered him and were just using this whole UFO abduction thing as a cover-up. But, gosh, like 4 or 5 days later, the guy reappeared naked and incoherent at I think like 80 miles away at a gas station. And, well, he swears to this day that he was abducted by aliens and had unspeakable things done to him. So I'm interested in those alien abduction stories, and, well, Barry is too. So the plan is, once it gets dark, we're going to sit around the old cell phone and watch that movie. Oh, wow, now look at the food. You put those tomatoes in there. This is going to be delicious. Barry, I must get your recipe. Wow, look at the background. Barry just said I should take a still photo of him cooking, and I think I should. Anyway, hopefully this wind dies down a little bit, because it'll be just... Can you imagine any place cooler to have dinner? Barry brought his little bistro table and chairs. Like, talk about dinner with a view. Look at that. Oh, be amazing. Okay, I climbed up on top of the truck to get a good angle on this. I mean, look, he really is cooking on the edge of a chasm. It's like a new cooking show for the Food Network. Cooking on the Edge with Barry the Australian Beast. That's not a kitchen. That's a kitchen. All right, dinner's just about ready. Just built a little campfire here so that we can have campfire, dinner, and a view. Triple whammy! Whoa! Okay, Barry wants me to cut the cilantro.
We call it something else.
What do you call it?
I'm trying to remember.
Coriander.
Coriander.
I guess in Australia they call cilantro coriander. Well, all right then. I'll cut the coriander. Yum! Oh my God, what a dinner with a view, man. The wind died down. It's just friggin' perfect. Oh my God, what a great friggin' dinner. Couldn't ask for a better place to eat it. And now we have this unbelievable sunset. Check this out. Look at this, wow. And there's this really cool iconic dead tree in the foreground. I think I better take a photo. Far out, man. This is free camping, y'all. BLM land, Bureau of Land Management. You know, all they ask is that you clean up after yourself and leave it better than you found it. Holy cow, look how beautiful the sky is right now. Dang. Now it's time to sit by the fire. Oh, yeah. This is the life, eh? Alright, I just woke up. I know I look a little rough, but hey, it's not about me. It's about this landscape. Now, when we parked the truck last night, we did think to orient it so that it was sort of facing towards sunrise, which actually, well, it wasn't bad. You know, aside from the blinding daggers of burning sunlight waking me up first thing in the morning. Just kidding. It's actually very pleasant out right now. Really just slightly balmy even. Just great weather. So I'm just going to brush my teeth and make some coffee. All right. I got myself more or less together. Got some coffee in my belly. And now it's time to figure out what we're going to do today. I think what we're going to do is, well, I'm looking at my atlas here, and I think we can actually drive over to Green River, Utah, through this canyon. There's supposed to be some really neat petroglyphs and pictographs down in there, and it'd be cool to see what it looks like down inside the canyon. Okay, we left where we were camped up on top of that mesa and kind of came down into this valley. We're descending into that canyon, and this is just spectacular landscape out here. It's just amazing. And you can see here behind me, it's actually where the old Spanish trail passed through. You know, that was the trail that they used to get from, I guess, Santa Fe to Los Angeles. And what's interesting is, well, I'm with Barry, the Australian Beast, who lives in Tecopa, California, which is also on the old Spanish trail. So it's interesting to think that we're camping and we're just going to drive back to Tecopa after this. But gosh, these poor people had to walk or go on horseback. Oh, and look at this. Here's a sign that says Spanish Trail, used from 18 to 1850. And then it even says here who made this really cool sculpture. It was a local artist, Eldon Holmes from Cleveland, Utah. Okay, Barry has an idea for a photo he wants me to take. So hang on. I got to walk over to those metal sculptures right after I cross this cattle guard. Fun idea, eh? All right, onward. Okay, far out. We're basically just driving along the road. We came down from that mesa and we're following the road sort of out through this BLM area. It's not a national park or a state park. It's just sort of this BLM area. But let me tell you something. This is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. And it seems like there's nobody here because it's not Arches, it's not Zion, it's not Canyonlands. It's just sort of off the radar, weird BLM area. And to be honest, I think it's called the Swell. And I probably shouldn't even be saying this in a video because now everybody's going to go here, but it's friggin' spectacular. I mean, look at this landscape. You saw where we were camped, and now we stopped because there's this pictograph panel. There's a bunch of ancient pictographs. So first of all, these pictographs are on this sheer friggin' cliff that you can see goes all the way up above us. Oh, wow, yeah, look, they almost look like ghosts or spirits. Now, remember, the difference between these and petroglyphs is pictographs are drawn onto rock using some kind of paint or ochre, but petroglyphs are carved into rock. So these are pictographs. Wow, look at this. Amazing. Some of these are really faint because the wind blows sand and kind of sandblasts it off. But wow, look at all the different colors of paint they used here. This is spectacular. These are amazing. They look like they must represent spirits, you know? Oh, look, it says here, look at the holes in their chests. Did someone do this to ceremonially release the power of the art? Or were the beings ritually killed? Oh, and then notice the yellow paint on some of these figures. Someone painted over the original red paint. The holes in the chests of these figures were intentionally pecked. Wow, that is interesting. I wonder what the deal was. Okay, and here's something interesting. You noticed how earlier maybe there was like some more modern pictographs, basically just people coming in with graffiti. Well, check this out. This rock here has some names that were carved in, basically as graffiti, but it's real old graffiti. Like this guy here carved his name in 1937. There's another 1937, 1938. So, okay, that's actually kind of cool. It's almost 100 years old, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that cool or lame? Wowee! I can't wait to see what else we're going to come across on this drive. Okay, now we've come to the river. This is what carved all this. I guess I'm not sure if they pronounce it San Rafael or San Rafael River. But there's this awesome bridge. You have to cross it. Now, Barry just drove the truck across there's an actual concrete bridge. But look, there's this old-timey swinging bridge that you can still walk across. Let's check this out. Huh, sign says this is the only suspension bridge remaining in Utah. As heavy loads cross the deck, it would shift and roll, hence the name, the swinging bridge. Interesting, okay. Well, let's walk across the swinging bridge and see if we can feel it swing. Even if we don't, gosh, it's just going to be a beautiful friggin' walk. Look at how beautiful this river looks. Oh, gosh, it's so hot today. I sure would love to jump in there. Okay, here we are walking along the bridge. I'm not heavy enough to really make it swing, I guess, because I don't feel anything, but it's cool. Cool old wooden bridge with this beautiful river passing underneath it. Look at that spectacular scenery. Ugh. What a beautiful day in a beautiful place. Boy, I am definitely coming back to this area. I feel like I could camp out here for probably at least a week and I wouldn't be able to see everything. Now, would I come at this time of year? It's pretty hot. Maybe like about a month ago would have been perfect, but it's not too bad. Okay, bye bridge. See you next time. Gotta catch up with Barry, jump in the truck, and well, keep on rolling. Okay, well, unfortunately, the road ended up leading us out of that area because, well, it was too friggin' hot once we came down off that plateau or mesa and down into the canyon. Whew. I mean, it was like in the 90s. And yeah, it would have cooled down at night, but it just wouldn't have been a very pleasant place to camp unless we stayed up on that mesa. And we didn't want to stay up on that mesa the whole time. We wanted to explore. So we're here in a forest. We found another really cool campsite, not that far away. Check this out. I mean, aside from all that beautiful red sandstone desert type scenery, Utah also has amazingly beautiful forests and mountains. And we're here at this awesome little campsite in the trees by this little tiny creek. And well, it couldn't be more different than the place we camped up on top of the mesa, but gosh, I don't know. In my book, this is equally beautiful. I love being surrounded by trees. You can hear birds chirping. And if you listen really close, well, I don't even think you guys can hear it, but you might be able to hear this creek. Here's the creek. See that? There's a little tiny waterfall there. So, yeah, it's not as dramatic and like Louis L'Amour as that mesa we camped on, but hey, I think it's pretty nice and it's a nice change of pace. But speaking of that dramatic mesa and that awesome drive we took and we found those petroglyphs and crossed that bridge, well, come to find out, I didn't realize this because I completely just stumbled on that campsite by accident, but it's called the Swell. The San Rafael Swell. I still don't know if it's San Rafael or San Rafael. I'm assuming it's San Rafael because, well, there's a town in the San Francisco Bay Area where I'm from called San Rafael. It's pronounced Rafael. Anyways, it's called the Swell. And gosh, it's got to be one of Utah's undiscovered gems, man. I will definitely be back to camp there. Just maybe a little bit earlier in the season so I can camp down in the canyon too. But for now, I'm going to enjoy this beautiful forest campsite. Barry's cooking up another one of his delicious dinners. So I'm going to stop yakking and start chowing down.